Bon, allez, on y go.
Soon, I have to be ready to face it. I'm determined.
Savoir la suite. Là, ça veut dire... Ah bah si, je peux peut-être pas encore. Mais si. Eh, mais on a déjà été ici.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
I want to look through that room over there. I'm curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research facility.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised at this point?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out. It might give us a new lead.
For the people of Lenig,
It's off limits even for lords, then?
Being exclusive is...
Strange doesn't cover it. If it was whoever the sovereign...
Did no one ever talk...
No, not that I can remember. Then again, sovereigns and...
the Forbidden Zone is a hallowed place. That is what we believed this place. But now,
Pas les couilles. J'avais un stade vraiment, bon, pas les couilles.
I think I can make this work.
Là, j'arrive toujours au stade du RPG. T'approches de la fin, tu te dis putain, je veux la fin.
Well, can you make head or tail of it?
These are experiment records by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. Let's see. A composite being capable of controlling Danon astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Danon. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign!
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the master cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renin citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renins are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it say anything else?
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require specialized... Wait.
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful. Test subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Alphen.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really. What about the others? Was I the only one?
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique adjustment index, generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been 2 sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman?
It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan
Putain, ça se trouve,
homeworld.
c'est quelqu'un qu'on connaît. On va le savoir, on va être sur le cul.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen began. Only 2 sovereigns. So why has the experiment only succeeded twice in all this time? Was there really no other way?
Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Alphen.
I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken, that's all. But it's strange. I've got all this rage inside of me, but I don't even know who it's for.
If that were to happen, then No. Then we'd help you fight.
Yeah, we wouldn't just sit by and watch you.
That's right. No good can come from.
If you ever start to lose your way, you can count on us to guide you back.
And I would be happy to lend an attentive ear, should you ever have need.
Ouais. Ça m'intéresse pas. Ouais. 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 Bon. J'ai pas fait gaffe, il y avait des coffres. de résurrection. On peut toujours se TP. Et... Allez, encore un souvenir.
Naori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Renan never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen. That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to save your life.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Man. Let's go.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memory and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Putain, ils ont fait un couloir pour faire dire, ouais, y a rien. Je peux pas sauvegarder. Hein. Ah, un nouveau donjon?
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
The Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori?
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well.
Comment t'as pu ken pour avoir un
Please,
bébé?
forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have
Mec, il a
done.
dû souffrir, hein.
Wait, you can't just... Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danon voice speaking through her?
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still. No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop.
Le jeu m'a dit, est-ce que t'es sûr d'avancer? Tu vas avoir une couille.
Thank you. Naori. So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories.
Is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No, the truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things that people do together. I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Stylé. Stylé.
Sounds like this name.
Her position demanded nothing less. From the
Yeah,
Ah, juste.
it was Naori who first
Not only that, but she willingly stayed behind on Lenegis.
It's as if walls meant nothing to her. The one separating the Renans.
which basically meant that she never had anything to break down in the first place, huh?
You inherited that legacy.
Don't I know it?
She's kind of like a lodestar guiding.
On a une suite. Toujours rien pour se régénérer, hein.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be
Si on
needing
prend
you
une
to
raclée,
open this one for
eh ben on
us,
level up et
Sovereign.
on finira le jeu demain.
Go for it, Alphen.
On level up le donjon qu'on a eu ici. Jusqu'à quand on a le level pour aller dans je sais plus quelle merde.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store.
Ah bah voilà! Un soin ici! J'aurais pu mettre un marchand, c'est tard.
We're a long way from the residential quarters now.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Except the Danon astral energy feels even
In a portion of the city reserved.
Maybe he just has strange.
This place looks like it has been here. Still,
Hold up.
when a preference.
That depends.
The void that.
In
Ouais.
that case, oh,
Now all we need is something to fill up.
shut up!
C'est pas que ça m'intéresse plus, mais c'est qu'à un moment donné, on se tape trop de blabla, putain. Plus que d'habitude. Objet, attends, je suis comment? Ça va le faire.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit
Ça vaut
channeling
le rang le boss
ceremony?
final.
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Oh, once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself. Reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's
Je
connected
pense que
to
ça
those
fait comme une
visions of
c'est pour
oblivion.
assister l'autre planète. Hein. Oh, l'autre planète, elle est morte.
Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alvin, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly confident.
It's no use, Elfin. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Gathering up pieces! Attack time! Eagle Ray!
You're mine!
Radiant time!
Down on the ground! Hold on! Everlasting focus! Burn in hell! Eagle Ray! Ready to go! Far enough!
Dazzle! Penumbra!
On field!
Crush! House it!
Here!
Ça, c'est vraiment une technique à la con.
Barrier!
Not in your dreams!
Being interrupted!
Dazzle! Rising focus!
Field!
Infernal turret!
Shine! Radiant ray! Boost of regeneration! Regenerate!
Here I come! Driver! You pay for that! Strike! Burn in hell!
Ready and raring! I'll smash you!
I can't move!
Quelque chose me dit que je suis pas assez entraîné.
one's mine.
I'm not done!
Guardian,
Here I come! Strike!
will this go far enough?
Take this!
On va le faire peut-être.
Try harder!
I'm ready to go. Their arcs were interrupted.
Hits on! Shockwave flash!
Shattering lightning meteor.
Attack time! Now you see what I can
This
do!
one's mine.
Shockwave flash!
Inferno crossing.
Oh, hop. Ah, je te kiffe. On peut faire des attaques de team comme ça. Écoute, 2000 de dégâts. On va y arriver.
What I can do!
Eat this!
That'll bring you down.
Not in your dreams.
Tiger blade.
Blow away!
Here, Inferno crossing.
Blow away! Raining flash!
Here's evil.
Strike!
Field.
Strike!
Freeze Lancer.
Raining
Switch to offense.
Blow away! Raining Raining flash!
Inferno crossing. Here, I'm gone.
Here I come!
Masterpiece.
Hear my call.
Raining
I'll be
flash!
babysitting.
Not today!
Going in.
Raining flash! Blow away!
Switch to offense.
Blow away!
Oh, depuis que j'ai cette attaque, ça fait mal, hein.
Let me out.
Blow away!
Chionne. Chionne, tu vas pas faire le con. Et non, je me suis trompé de soin.
Not today! Raining flash! Raining flash! I'm not done! Try harder! Raining
Armor won't save you!
Ça va, j'ai eu peur au début me disant putain ça va être chaud, mais parce que j'ai fait le con avec les techniques de feu. En vrai j'utilise plus, ça perd trop de points de vie. Charge à fond pour faire quoi? Pas beaucoup de dégâts.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Try harder! Take this!
This one's mine.
I can carve through armor!
Raining slash!
Here, let me out.
Blow away!
Raging
Raining slash! Blow away!
Radiant.
Strike!
I won't give up.
Raining slash!
Flaming meteor.
Burn it!
Oh putain, j'ai toute ma vie quasiment.
Raining slash! Blow away! Raining slash! Stay away from my friend!
I'll bring you back from death to this.
Eh mais meurs!
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'll bring you back from death to this.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Ouais, et après il y en a
Do
plein
you
qui
think
vont pas,
it's
comme dans la
really over?
cinématique.
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve.
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alvin!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally. It was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Boran was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renin and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renin and Danan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
Ah.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Soit il
Are
meurt
you
comme une
two
merde, soit on le
okay?
reverra.
Yeah. We'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Le Volron, le boss final, ce sera lui. Il est
Those
trop stylé
red
comme
women.
méchant.
What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissalma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it
Donc
back.
on est encore là loin du fin du jeu.
The
Moi je pensais que
future's
c'est bon,
ours
ça,
to
on est arrivé à la
protect.
fin.
And right now, those things are what's standing in
Ah,
our
il a
way.
refait son discours.
We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Pardon?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissalma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Deuxième
But
partie.
seriously, I
Elle est
was not
prometteuse de
expecting
ouf.
Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Brennan's... or de-
50. Oh, ouais. On n'est pas près de finir le jeu. C'est pas ce soir qu'on finira le jeu.
cannons.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for...
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly...
They definitely weren't Renan or Danon. I'm not even sure language would get through.
So what were they then?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all...
How about you, Shion? Dohalie?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron...
I had just so much I wanted to ask them.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would...
Both sound plausible to my ears. They...
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to...
Ah, j'ai pas le droit de me TP. Putain, on n'en finira jamais. Hein. C'est génial. À chaque fois tu te dis putain, On s'approche de la fin. Non? Oui? Non? Et bah non. Bam! Il se passe encore un truc. Par contre, refaire tout le chemin comme ça, c'est chiant. J'adore le jeu qui te dit est-ce que t'es sûr d'avoir avancé alors qu'en fait, je crois que c'est peut-être la fin du jeu, mais non. En fait, non. Surtout que on va à Serena, on va revenir ici, faire le truc à la con, et après il y a le boss des épines qui va se pointer, parce que tous les coups, le boss final, c'est des épines. Et ça se trouve, quand on va tuer le mec des épines, Valorant, il va se repointer ce connard. Mec, hop, pour la peine, on se soigne. Et il faut qu'on y a le farm. Plein de trucs à faire. Pourquoi je peux pas me TP? Putain, je peux pas taper tout le donjon. Oh quoi, c'est pas plus mal. Attends, on gagne combien d'XP?
Say no more. Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil.
Lightning thrust. I'm ready.
Astral energy.
Say no more. Begin. Lightning thrust from the wind. Ignite. You're mine. See what I can do. I'm not done. Kisara. Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
Et en tout cas, la seconde partie, plus lourde que je pensais en tout cas. Non? Oh mais oui, mais... Je me les refais tous les ennemis, hein, rien à foutre.
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
600 points d'XP. Attends, j'ai besoin de combien pour level up? Avec quelqu'un qui veut level up? Ah ouais. Oh, c'est...
No choice. Lightning thrust on. Denied. Rising Falcon. Lightning thrust.
Eh, Hitbox est là. Hitbox, tu savais le nombre d'heures de jeu que je me tape. Ça fait une semaine que je suis à fond sur ce jeu et j'ai toujours pas fini. Il est long, le jeu est plaisant. Bon, le problème c'est les vestiaires, mais bon, ça c'est un autre problème.
Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
C'est ce qu'on attend d'un bon RPG, ouais. Ah, il y a une phase par contre, là on est arrivé sur une sorte de lune si tu veux. C'est artificiel. Il y a eu quand même presque 1h30, 2 heures de blabla, mais des trucs pas très intéressants, tu vois. Que... À un moment donné, enfin il y a une régulation de ouf, tu fais ok, et après, c'est blabla, 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 blabla. Et je te promets, pendant 1h30, zéro combat, tu vois, mais avec des blabla inutiles qui pas intéressants. Et à un moment donné, j'ai commencé à skip des trucs. C'est 1h30, mais si j'avais pas skip, ça aurait duré 2 heures. Hein. D'accord. Pour dire, pour dire la dinguerie. Hein. Y a... Le problème des bestiaires, c'est ça. Tu vois, c'est toujours la même chose, mais avec un autre skin, quoi. Et par contre, ce que je me rends compte, c'est que je suis qu'à 67 sur 110 monstres. Par contre, les monstres uniques. on est quand même sur 24 sur 51. Et en théorie, je dis bien en théorie, tous ces boss que j'ai eu à faire, c'est des boss que j'ai eu dans le jeu. Dans l'histoire. Donc, théoriquement, il y a encore 26 boss. 0 combat, 0 mana, du blabla. Ouais. Et là, c'est tous les boss géants, il m'en manque 6. C'est des boss optionnels. Alors, t'as... Si on prend le nombre 51 plus 60, 20, il y a 71 boss. Alors que t'as 110 monstres dans le bestiaire, t'as presque autant de boss que de monstres dans le bestiaire, quoi. Parce qu'il y a des jeux d'RPG, des fois tu te dis putain, il n'y a pas beaucoup de boss et tout, tu vois. Et là, qu'est-ce que t'en bouffes des boss, hein. Mais qu'est-ce que t'en bouffes? Enfin, peut-être pas au début, à l'intro du jeu, mais... L'intro du jeu, le premier boss, il a mis du temps à arriver, mais... Oh non, pas ça. Attends. Attends. Des dialogues pendant les combats, mais oui, grave. Des fois ils ont des dialogues en mode Ah, il y a quelqu'un qui m'a dit que le jeu était plus linéaire qu'FF13. Ou même FF13 était plus ouvert, je fais à la fin comme plus ouvert. Alors que dans ce jeu là, tu peux retourner à n'importe quel endroit où je peux aller. Et même des fois, il faut revenir en arrière pour des nouvelles quêtes. Ah bah ça. C'est qui que... Attends, entre... C'est quel manga qu'ils ont fait en sorte chaque attaque tu dis non. Déjà il y a Dragon Ball Z. Je crois que Senseiya c'était déjà ça. Je me demande c'est quoi le premier manga qui... Tu annonces tes attaques. Je serais curieux. Ah putain, c'est l'hormone aussi, oh putain. Je crois que dans presque tous les mangas. Hein. Mais le premier, tu vois. Le premier qui a fait ça, c'est... Dans One Piece, c'est pareil. Naruto, c'est pareil. Combien 82. Encore la magie, ça se comprend parce qu'elle doit lire une sorte d'incantation. Et dans tous les mangas, ça fait ça, hein, même les animés. Hein.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it. Soaring, I can carve through armor.
Ignite! Dazzle! Rising Falcon! I'm not done!
In here!
Lightning Thrust!
Put the mark on
Rising
this
Falcon!
one!
Be still!
Where are you going?
Here I come! Rising Falcon! Be still! I'm not done!
Putain, la première fois que je l'ai croisé, il me fait des dégâts, là maintenant il me fait presque plus rien. Imagine, je suis obligé de refaire sans traverse du donjon pour sortir, alors d'habitude je peux me TP. Juste parce qu'il lui a se passer un truc. Il me l'a fermé. Et au moment où j'ouvre ma gueule, il y a eu un mort. Là c'est non-stop et tout. Oh, oui j'avoue, c'est vrai que ça faisait. Bah, c'est surtout que les meilleures attaques que tu fais c'est des attaques artées et tu peux en bouffer, En fait les attaques simples font beaucoup moins de dégâts que les attaques spéciales, tu me diras c'est normal. Et du coup comme il n'y a pas de points de magie, du coup on les bouffe, tu vois. Il n'y a pas de mana dans ce jeu, à part pour les points de soigner. Là t'as les carrés bleus, c'est le nombre d'attaques que je peux faire presque. Et du coup comme c'est des attaques puissantes, bah du coup on les claque. Bon, par contre Dohalim il abuse là. Mourir tout le temps là, ça va pas. Tu sais je l'ai pas soigné, je l'ai pas eu de balle. Après il faut qu'ils fassent leur boulot, il faut qu'ils soignent là. Il a vu un JRPG avec un sniper. Oh peut-être que fait. Oh tu me dirais F7 il avait bien une mitrailleuse à la caméra. C'est merde, j'ai attaqué dans le vide. Yeah, mon guil est là. Ah, qu'est-ce que vous branlez tous à cette heure-ci à venir? Alors que ça fait depuis au moins 19h30, 20h que je stream. Ça fait... Là, je suis en live depuis... Ça fait 7h que j'ai lancé le live. Un petit live impro musique la semaine dernière. Non, c'est mon truc, je le case. Ouais, faudra je pense à y aller alors. Et bah voilà, mon gars. Je suis déçu que tu sois pas là tout le temps. Le mec il essaie de me culpabiliser alors que je sais que t'en as rien à foutre. Ça va pas t'attendre. Et c'est juste que t'as raté des moments avec émotion. Des révélations ouf. Des moments d'action. Et 2 heures de blabla de chiant aussi. J'ai dit wesh. Moi aussi.
He really made us work for that one.
Putain, on entend. J'ai repris Arc sur Genesis. Oh là 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 là. Essaye Craftopia qui est sur le Game Pass, oui. Si t'as toujours le Game Pass.
When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
Je pouvais pas me TP tout ça pour arriver ici.
So she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once.
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim,
Non mais Monkey, tu sais que j'ai regardé les prochaines sorties, j'ai pété un plomb. 5 octobre. Là, attends, j'ai Life is Strange 3. Il faudra que je l'achète et que je me le fasse. Il y a Alan Wake, Remastered, qui sort. Il y a Far Cry 6. Après. Mois d'après, il y a Forza Horizon 5. Après, il y a Halo. Et un jour, il y a Dying Light 2. Ah oui, il y a Black 4 Blood aussi.
Until now, whenever something like this happened, the sovereign would issue a decree.
Ah, attends, je me remets sur tes os.
Any longer and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Mais tu kifferais Craftopia.
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look up there, it's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a
Ah, moi j'arrive pas à me mettre sur la tête de...
top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the lords and sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Oh,
Your
t'entends faire
speech
pas mal de
seems
choses.
to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority, the very foundations of Renan society. How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnigan's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Boum. Je dirais bien. Que les titres, on commence à tous les débloquer là. Défense plus 50. Oh, oh, oh. Trop de trucs à monter.
Looks like the people of Lenegis.
In one sense.
Oh putain, c'est quoi encore ce blabla?
You, a Renan lord.
I was complicit in the Renan system. And when I realized a lord,
I think I can relate.
Hop.
How long have you
known what?
About the darkness I carry inside.
Hop, on sait déjà les blabla qu'il y a là. Hop, il y a quoi d'autre?
Kisara? Among other things.
Allez, hop. Pas les couilles. Ah non, là j'en ai ras le cul. Allez, c'est net, j'en ai ras le cul. Moi je vais dormir, bonne nuit à vous. Ok, pas de soucis, D-Box, à la prochaine.